1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
I think this time around, Terry, the OC is going to have a lot more direct say in his staff, if you will.
Well, I agree. Yep.
Maybe than Marcus or Dowell had, or Mike, for that matter.
You know, I think you bring up a good point, and because look, nothing against Mike Furry. Mike Furry might have they might score a ton of points against Coastal. Maybe the offense is more efficient against Clemson, but let's just be real for a minute. If I'm Shane, and I'm not, but if I was, I know how important next year is. I can't take a chance on just elevating an OC from the staff again, who has never been an OC or a play caller on the Power 4 level, even the Group of 5 level. I can't take the chance in a season so important and do that. I just can't. I got to get an experienced dude in here who has coordinated and called plays on a Power 4 or at least a high Group of 5 level. I can't take a chance. I just can't.
I agree with you, and I would be very surprised if Mike Furry were the choice as offensive coordinator and play caller.
Right. I can see him stay as wide receivers coach if everybody's cool with that.
That's my point. Is might he hang around as receivers coach? I think that's a stronger possibility.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to see, because I know Sean has a proven track record as an offensive line coach, so
Yep.
I'd like to see Sean Elliott stay. But again, depending on where Shane wants to go with this and who the person is, especially because we've talked about how there's a lot of words I could use. Precarious is one that comes to mind. Just how next season's going to look in terms of the demands that might be placed upon this head coach and on the program. That if somebody is coming in that's here to help save the day, all right, that they're probably going to want to have a lot more direct input on who's working with them.
Absolutely.
On a regular basis.
We got to be more efficient, to me, and not call some of the shot plays. I've been around a long time, and I know the old history of Coach Spurrier while he was here, and the turnovers and getting in the red zone and all those things, taking shots and being aggressive and stuff like that, and kind of a world that I wanted to live in and I've always lived in. But at the same time, what's best for our players when we get into those situations, and continuing to just keep moving the ball closer and closer and putting more stress on them than trying to just get a one-hit wonder play to score a touchdown.
I don't want to circle a number, Terry, or put something up. I'm not the coach. I'm not going to put something on a whiteboard or whatever and say, hey, you need to score this many points. But is it wrong of me to think that this weekend needs to be the weekend where South Carolina does score more points on offense, not just total, on offense than they have all season? Is that an okay goal to set?
Yeah, that's an okay goal because Coastal struggled on defense at times this year, and I think it's an absolute not too much to ask. Hey, Mike brings up something interesting about the red zone, Jay, with the running the football. Because it's true. If you can run the ball in the red zone, you're just much better offensively, inside the 20. Because now teams have to account for that. If you can't run the ball, that area now you're squeezed, right? The whole thing shrinks. And it's very difficult to throw your way through the red zone consistently, especially if nobody respects your run game.